Hi everybody, I'm Miss Saylor, your kindergarten teacher.
And I'm Mrs. Boland. I'm her assistant. I help her with everything.
Everything that we do in the room, Miss Boland's always there. So we just wanted to do a video this morning and say happy first day of kindergarten. And we know that it's not your typical first day where you come to school and you get dropped off and you find your seat and find your locker. And trust me, we would much rather you all be here in person than have to be videoing ourselves and talking to you. We'd rather be seeing your faces and have you here in person. So this morning we just wanted to introduce ourselves to you so you would recognize our faces if you see us out and about. Of course, we'll have a mask on if we're in public, but then when you come back to school, you'll be a little bit more familiar with us. So this morning I'm going to read you all a story, and Miss Boland's going to go off and do some work around the room, and I'm going to read you all a story that I always read on the first day of kindergarten, and then we'll talk about it.
Okay, guys, I'll see you a little bit later. Listen real closely to Miss Saylor. Bye for now.
Okay, so every year on the first day of school when we come and sit on the rug at is Calendar Center, and you all will learn about that a little bit later, I always read the night before kindergarten because every kid can relate to what's going on in your head the night before kindergarten. And even though we're virtual right now, it's okay. You still had to get ready to get up today and start doing your work on Odysseyware and Google Classroom. So you probably still had some nerves going on even though you didn't actually have to come to the building to go to school. So the night before kindergarten. Here's the first page. 'Twas the night before kindergarten, and as they prepared, kids were excited and a little bit scared. So there they are getting ready in their beds. They've got their clothes everywhere, trying to figure out what to wear to school. They tossed and they turned about in their beds while visions of school supplies danced in their heads. And for right now, your school supplies really consist of some sort of laptop or computer or an iPad of some kind because you're doing everything virtually. Erasers and crayons and pencils galore were stuffed in their backpacks and set by the door. Outfits were hung in the closets with care, knowing that kindergarten soon would be there. And I've already received some pictures this morning of some of you all that got up and got dressed this morning and had backpacks and everything on like you were actually coming to school. I think that's awesome. If anybody else has pictures, send them to me on Dojo. I'd love to see them. In the morning it came. School starts today. Would the teacher be nice? Would they still get to play? Faces were washed and teeth were brushed white. Kids posed for pictures with eyes sparkling bright. Parents packed snacks and kids hopped in cars as if they were boarding a spaceship to Mars. Some kids brought blankets or their favorite stuffed bear in hopes they could nap like they did in daycare. If you all went to Head Start last year, you had nap time, but when you come to kindergarten, unfortunately, we don't get to take naps. Their parents exclaimed, "You're big kids, wow! Let us hold your bears and blankies for now." The parents were worried their children would cry if they left them at school with just a goodbye. So they told their darlings, "If you want, we can stay and make sure that everything will be A-okay." And sometimes the first day of kindergarten is just as hard for mom and dad as it is for the kids that are coming to school. The teacher then greeted each one with a smile and invited the students to stay for a while. So this teacher's sitting in her chair and she's got all of her students on the rug. That's kind of what we do in our room every morning. We come to Calendar Center and we sit down on our big colorful rug and we go over different things that we're going to do throughout the day. And it's a good way to get our morning started, everybody coming together on the rug. The room was all filled with toys, books, and maps. But where were the beds for the mid-morning naps? Remember, we don't have naps in kindergarten. It'd be nice if we did. They colored and painted and played Simon Says, then tumbled and skipped, and some stood on their heads. Goodness. I'm getting a workout in on those mats. They sang silly songs from beginning to end. Within just a minute, each kid had a friend. And usually by your first day of kindergarten, you've met somebody new, you've got to sit beside of somebody, and by the end of the day, you've made yourself a new friend to go home and talk about. The children were happy. They loved Miss Sunrise. It was she who